If you are over 50 and still walk every day, keep going. Walking is a wonderful habit. It keeps you moving, supports heart health, and helps maintain your ability to function in everyday life. But there is one thing many people do not realize. Walking and muscle strength are two different things. The CDC also recommends that older adults combine aerobic activity with muscle-strengthening exercises and balance training. Think about a very familiar situation. You may be able to walk around the neighborhood for 30 minutes without any problem. But when you get up from a low chair, you have to push off with your hands. When climbing stairs, you need to hold on to the railing. Or when stepping up onto a high curb, you feel that your legs are no longer as steady as they used to be. That does not necessarily mean you lack endurance. It may mean that your legs lack the strength to generate force when needed. Walking primarily trains the ability to maintain repetitive movement. But when you have to stand up from a chair, climb stairs, or lift your body onto a higher step, your legs need to generate greater force in a short amount of time. That is why someone can walk for quite a while, but still struggle with these movements. And here is the small lesson. Do not measure the health of your legs only by the number of steps you take each day. Measure it by the things your legs can still help you do with ease. The good news is that you do not need to start with heavy exercises. But first, let's check where your legs are really at. Let's start with a simple test that takes just 60 seconds. Before starting any exercise, take about 60 seconds to see where your legs are. First, sit on a sturdy chair. Can you stand up without using your hands? If you can, pay attention to whether you can stand up steadily or whether you have to use momentum. Next, try stepping onto a low step. Can you place your entire foot on the step and push your body up without pulling yourself up with your hands? Notice whether one leg feels weaker than the other. Finally, stand near a wall or a sturdy chair and try standing on one leg for a few seconds. There is no need to try to hold it for a long time. What matters is whether you can control your body. If you have to use your hands to stand up, lose your balance when stepping onto the step, or feel that one leg is noticeably weaker than the other, do not see it as a failure. Think of it as a signal that you should start at a lower level of intensity. These simple tests are not meant to diagnose a medical condition or compare you with anyone else. They simply help you recognize one very important thing. Strength, control, and balance all contribute to having strong legs. And remember today's results. Because after 30 days, we will repeat these tests to see how your legs have actually changed. If a movement is harder than you expected, do not get discouraged. This is simply your starting point. And now, let's begin with one of the most practical movements your legs need to perform every day. Stepping up onto a step. 5 Step up. Rebuild the strength you need for stairs and curbs. Let's start with a very familiar movement, stepping up onto a step. Every time you climb stairs, step onto a curb, or enter a house with a step at the doorway, your legs have to generate force and keep your body stable. Your glutes do not just help you generate force when standing up. They also help stabilize your hips as each leg takes turns supporting your body weight. Therefore, building strength here can help movements such as standing up, walking, and climbing stairs become more stable. That is exactly why the step-up is worth adding to your routine after 50. The difference is this. When you walk, you mainly move your body forward. But during a step-up, one leg has to generate enough force to lift your body upward and then control your body as you lower back down. This is exactly the kind of strength you need when climbing stairs or stepping over a high curb. You only need a low, sturdy step. Stand facing the step, place your entire foot on it, and then slowly push your body upward. Once you are standing upright, control your leg as you lower yourself back down. Do not rush. The goal is not to complete as many repetitions as possible, but to make each step up steady and controlled. Pay particular attention to your knees. A common mistake is allowing the knee to collapse inward or leaning your body too far to gain momentum. Another mistake is placing only the front of the foot on the step. These habits make the movement harder to control. If you are just starting, choose a very low step and use a handrail or the back of a chair for support. As you become more comfortable, you can gradually reduce the support, increase the number of repetitions, or raise the step height little by little. Imagine reaching a point where you can climb stairs without pulling yourself up with the handrail, or step over a high curb without having to stop and gather momentum. That is the kind of strength that matters in everyday life. And the step-up only addresses one part of the equation. To make your steps truly steady, we also need to build strength in the hips and glutes, where much of the force for every step comes from. 4. Glute bridge. Strengthen the muscles that power. Every step. If the step-up helps you build the strength to step up, then the glute bridge helps build the foundation of strength in your hips and glutes, muscle groups involved in nearly every step you take each day. Think about getting up from a sofa, climbing stairs, or lifting yourself out of bed. You're not using only your thighs. Your glutes and hips also have to generate force and keep your body stable. To perform it, lie on your back on the floor, bend your knees, and place your feet firmly on the ground. Slowly push your hips upward, squeeze your glutes briefly at the top, and then lower your body back down with control. The important thing is not to try to raise your hips as high as possible. A common mistake is arching your back to create the feeling that you are lifting higher. Instead, focus on squeezing your glutes and keeping your torso stable. You also do not need to start with a large number of repetitions. Just perform a few quality repetitions, rest, and then complete another set if it feels appropriate. As you become more comfortable, you can gradually increase the number of repetitions or the amount of time you hold the top position. Remember, strength is not only about how far you can walk, but also about your ability to generate force when your body needs it. And there is still another very important muscle group we need to build: the thighs, which help your legs bear weight and keep you steady during everyday activities. 3. Wall sit. Build stronger thighs without heavy weights. After building strength in the hips and glutes, we need to focus on the thighs, especially the muscle group that helps you stand up, climb stairs, and keep your body stable while bearing weight. The wall sit differs from the step-up in one important way. The step-up requires you to generate force with each movement, while the wall sit requires your thigh muscles to maintain force over a period of time. This is why it can be useful for activities where you have to stand or keep your body stable for longer periods. This is especially important when going downstairs or stepping down from a step. You do not only need strength to push your body upward, you also need the ability to control how your foot makes contact with the ground. And you do not necessarily need heavy weights to do that. The wall sit is a very simple exercise. You only need a sturdy wall. Stand with your back against the wall, move your feet slightly forward, and then slowly lower your body as if you were sitting into an invisible chair. You do not need to lower yourself very far. If you are just starting, hold a comfortable position for about 10 to 15 seconds. Then stand up and rest. As your body becomes accustomed to it, you can gradually increase the duration. The most important thing is not to turn the exercise into a contest of how much pain you can tolerate. Some people try to lower themselves very deeply or hold the position for as long as possible, then hold their breath and force themselves to endure it. That is not the goal. Keep your back stable, breathe steadily, and maintain a position that you can still control. Imagine being able to stand in the kitchen longer without your legs getting tired quickly, or climb a few flights of stairs without feeling like your thighs are giving up too soon. That is the kind of strength we are working toward. But your legs still have one commonly overlooked link: your calves and your ability to control your ankles. And that is where the next exercise comes in. 2. Calf raise. The overlooked muscle that helps keep you steady. When it comes to leg strength, many people only think about their thighs or glutes. But there is a smaller muscle group that is often overlooked: the calves. Every time you walk, climb stairs, or stand on a surface that is not completely even, your calves and ankles have to continuously help your body control its movement. To perform the exercise, stand near a wall or a sturdy chair for support. Keep both feet firmly on the floor. Slowly raise your heels, hold briefly, and then lower them back down very slowly. The important thing is controlling the movement, not bouncing up and down as quickly as possible. If you are just starting, perform the exercise with both legs and use your hand for light support. As you become stronger, you can reduce the amount of support, increase the number of repetitions, or progress to performing it on one leg at a time. A common mistake is using momentum, rocking the body, or trying to raise the heels too high without being able to control the movement on the way down. Remember that the lowering phase is just as important as the lifting phase. Think about a simple situation. You step onto an uneven curb, climb a small step, or have to change direction while walking. In those moments, stability in your feet and ankles becomes very important. Strong legs do not only need strength higher up, they need a solid foundation from the ground up. And now, we are going to put all that strength into a very practical movement: carrying something while walking. 1. Farmer's carry. Turn leg strength into real-world independence. Leg strength only truly matters when it makes everyday life easier. And the farmer's carry is one of the simplest exercises for turning that strength into practical movement. You only need 2 objects of an appropriate weight, such as 2 light dumbbells. Stand upright, hold the objects at your sides, gently brace your core, and begin walking slowly. Keep your shoulders stable, look straight ahead, and try to maintain a natural posture. This exercise also requires you to maintain your posture while carrying weight. That is exactly what happens when you carry 2 grocery bags from the car into the house. You not only need strength in your legs, but also stability through your body while moving. Do not think that you have to choose very heavy weights. If the weight causes you to lean, stagger, or hold your breath, it is too heavy. Another common mistake is shrugging your shoulders, leaning forward, or taking steps that are too wide. Start with a short distance, rest when needed, and gradually increase according to your ability. What makes this exercise special is how closely it resembles the things you do in everyday life. Carrying grocery bags from the store, carrying a laundry basket, holding a water container, moving things from the garage into the house. You do not need to become the strongest person in the gym. The goal is for ordinary things in life to no longer make you wonder, am I strong enough to do this? And now, you have 5 exercises. But knowing the exercises is not enough. The more important question is, how should you combine them during the week without overdoing it? The simple 2-day plan. How to combine these exercises safely. You do not need to do all 5 exercises every day to make your legs stronger. In fact, what matters more is training consistently and giving your body enough time to recover. Start with a simple schedule of just 2 strength training days per week. On the first day, perform step-up, glute bridge, wall sit, calf raise, and farmer's carry. You do not need to train until exhaustion. Choose a number of repetitions or a duration that allows you to maintain stable technique. Then rest between exercises as needed. On the second day, leave at least 1 day between the first and second day. You can repeat similar exercises but reduce the intensity if your body is still sore. Between the 2 training sessions, maintain light activities such as walking, joint movement, or everyday activities. For example, you can do strength training on Monday and Thursday, take a light walk on Tuesday and Friday, and use the other days for recovery or movement according to your ability. And do not make the mistake of thinking that doing more always means progressing faster. If today you can only hold a wall sit for 15 seconds, that is your starting point. After a few weeks, you may reach 20 or 30 seconds. Similarly, if you initially need to hold onto a chair during the step-up, gradually reduce the support when you feel steady enough. Increase little by little instead of trying to change everything in one day. Because in the end, what builds strength after 50 is not one perfect workout. It is the ability to maintain it over many weeks and months. And there is a very simple way to know whether all of these efforts are actually making a difference. The 30-day test. How to know your legs are actually getting stronger after 30 days. Do not just ask, how many workouts did I complete? Ask a more important question. Has my life become easier? Repeat the simple tests from the beginning of the video. Can you stand up from a chair more easily? Can you step onto a low step with less support? Can you hold the wall sit a little longer? Do you have better control during the calf raise? And when carrying grocery bags, do you feel more stable? You do not need a dramatic change. If you can do a little more today than you could 30 days ago, that is progress. Record your results today. After 30 days, repeat the same tests under the same conditions if possible. Do not only look at the number of repetitions. Pay attention to whether the movements feel more stable and easier. And remember, the goal of this program is not to turn you into an athlete or make you train until exhaustion. The goal is to build enough strength so that ordinary things like standing up, climbing stairs, walking, or carrying things become more confident and easier. If you experience unusual pain, dizziness, or loss of balance, do not try to push through it. Stop and consult a healthcare professional if needed. Because in the end, strong legs do not just help you exercise better. They help you maintain your independence for longer. And that is the real reason leg strength matters after 50.